Howdy Moz fans, and welcome to a special Christmas edition of Whitebeard Friday. This week, I wanted to try and help with just a few tactical suggestions on some creative ways to pump up those content marketing campaigns. So I've seen that many folks in the SEO world, of course, naturally, are investing in content marketing because content is the path to links and amplification and search traffic. And sometimes those content campaigns can feel a little stale or repetitive. And so I have some creative ideas, things that I've seen some people executing on that I think we might be able to leverage for some of our work. First one, if you can identify in your community these sort of small but vocal niche groups that are, and when I say your community, it doesn't have to be people you already reach. It can be people inside the community of content generation and of topical interest around your subject matter. And then help them to amplify their voices or their causes or their pet projects, etc. So I'll use the example of being in the foodie and gourmand world, right? So here's a bunch of foodies, but this particular tiny group is extremely passionate about food trucks. And in particular, they really hate the laws that restrict food truck growth, right? A lot of cities don't allow food trucks to be in certain spaces. They have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get licensed. They are not permitted to be permanently in a place for a whole week, whatever it is, right? Whatever those legal restrictions are. And so by serving this small group, you might think that content is way too niche. The wonderful part is that content is the kind that gets amplified very loudly, very repetitively, that can help you earn links and traffic to this small community. And if that community is small and loud and feels like their voices aren't being heard elsewhere, you can build some great brand advocacy inside that group as well. By the way, I would urge you to be authentic. Choose causes that you or your company also care about. Don't just pick something at random. All right. Second, if you can, try and seek out products and services that your audience uses or needs, but that doesn't actually directly conflict with your business, right? And then create a resource that lists or rates or ranks and recommends those top choices. We've actually done this a few times at Moz. I have this recommended list, right, of agency and consultant providers, but Moz does not compete with any of those, but it's a helpful list, and as a result of listing those folks, right, and having this sort of process around it, many of those people are pumping up that content. Now, here's another example, right? So Foodie Moz sounds like a great domain. I should go register that. Right after this hat stops hitting me in the back of the head. I don't know how Santa deals with that. So Foodie Moz presents the best cookbooks of 2017. Now, Foodie Moz might be in the food and recipe world, but turns out the wonderful part is cookbooks are something that is used by their audience, but not directly conflicting with them. And since it's not self-promotional, but it is useful to your audience, the likelihood that you can earn links and amplification because you seem like a non-self-interested party is much greater, right? You're providing value without asking anything in return. It's not like anyone buying these cookbooks would help you. It's not like you have some ulterior motive in ranking this one number one or that one number two, right? You're merely putting together an unbiased set of resources that help your audience. And that is a great way to get a piece of content to do well. Third, last but not least here, if you can find content creators who have been very successful, you can recruit them, the people who've had hit pieces, to create content for your brand. In a lot of ways, this is like cheating. It's almost like buying links, except instead of buying the links, you're buying the time and energy of the person who creates content that you have high likelihood or high propensity for being successful in that content niche with what they create because of their past track record and the audience they've already built. Pro tip here, journalists and media contributors, even contributors to online media like a BuzzFeed or something like that, are great targets. Why? Well, because they're usually poorly paid and they are desperate to build a portfolio of professional work. And some of these folks are insanely talented and they already have networks of people who have liked their work in the past and have helped amplify them. And so if you can use a tool like BuzzSumo, that would be generally what I'd recommend. There's a few others, but BuzzSumo is really great for this. you can search for example, recipes and see the most shared content in the recipe world in, say, the last 3 months. And then we can identify, oh, here we go. This person wrote the hardest recipe challenge GIFs. Oh, all right, that did really, really well. I wonder if we can see who that is. Oh, look, she does freelance work. I bet she can write for us. It's like cheating. It's a great hack. It's a great way to recruit someone who you know is likely to have a great shot at their work doing well. Give them the freedom to write what they want, to create what they want, and then host it on your site. Great way to do content creation for a decent price that has a high likelihood of solid amplification. All right, everyone, look forward to some of your thoughts and tactics. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, a Merry Christmas from all of us at Moz. For those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, happy belated Hanukkah. I know I'm filming this during Hanukkah, but it's probably after Hanukkah that you're seeing it. For those of you who are celebrating any other holiday this year, a very happy holiday season to you. And we look forward to joining you again next week for another edition of Whiteboard Friday. Take care.